Alright, welcome back. Let's try to finish up a little more here today. So when I left off, I was talking about jigs. Okay, two different ways to rig them. I also wanted to show you different ways to modify them. This is more of a finesse style here. All I did was fold the skirt this way and cut just above the head. Gives it a little different profile. Can be really effective. For those of you who don't like doing jigs, you can always just Texas rig across. Pretty much get the same benefits as doing a jig. And remember to use a bobber stop to hold that weight there. Okay? Now on jigs, definitely match the jig color. I showed you a couple last time. This guy right here on my flipping stick got me about a 4-pounder out of a city lake, a city pond not too long ago, probably about a week ago. It's a very, very nice setup, half-ounce jig there. I usually try to stick to the smaller ones when I'm pond fishing, like the little bitsy bugs I have all lined up right here. They tend to get bit a lot more often. Sometimes you just can't find that 4-pounder. There's another jig, slightly modified, to cut the skirt a little shorter on this guy. Not by much, but enough to make a difference. You'll notice it. There'll be a different profile to them than a standard jig. Now, what I wanted to get into is alternative ways of rigging your soft plastics. Okay, here's a new one to me. I'll be playing with this soon. It's called a Geco rig or a jig rig. And what it is your extra wide gap hook with a split ring attached with a sinker on it. It's a Japanese style of rigging. Starting to become very popular over here. It works very well with creature baits and craws. It'll keep them parallel when you're swimming them along the bottom. They won't nose up, nothing fancy like that. But since you have the weight on the bottom, you will fill every bump, every rock. You won't have to worry as much about your bait getting fouled up anywhere. It's a very good rig. We're hoping to find out how well it works in small ponds here shortly. Now, for demonstration purposes, I'm using a bigger hook again so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so wacky rigging is very popular. Okay, most people just hook the bait right through the side. That's your basic wacky rig. Now you can also turn it into a Neko rig or a nail rig by simply grabbing that and pushing a weight into one end of it, which will then make it turn up like this when you're fishing it, and then you can hop it along the bottom like this. It's a very good way. I've done 2 weights before to give it a faster drop, put a weight in each end, so it flutters a little different than everybody else's. Sometimes I'll get you the extra bite. Now, while I have this out, this is a Lake Fork Magic Live Shad, and I wanted to show you the hook. This is an Owner Power Lock hook, and I like these a lot better than the other style that I picked up, the Arky swim bait hook. I do not like where the weight's positioned on this. In my eyes, it stops the hook from coming up as far as on this. On this, the hook will come out quite a bit, and you get a better hookup. A couple other things I wanted to show you. Simple worms like this can be fished a lot of different ways. You can Texas rig them, or you can find a long shank jig head. Gamakatsu made some. I got a bunch of the 1/8 ounce jig heads out in the truck. But because of that longer shank, the hook comes out closer to here on the bait. It's very good. It's got a very light action to it. It's an amazing hook. Let's see, I already went through those. Oh, for anybody wanting to punch, we all punch through vegetation and everything else. I found out that the Trocar finesse hooks, finesse worm hooks, a tube and a weight, are amazing. It will punch through almost anything. If you can't get through it, just get a bigger weight. The Trokar hooks are pretty stiff, pretty sharp, so when you go to set the hook, don't worry about how hard you set it. Just rip it hard, because first you got to get the hook out of the tube, and also you got to get the fish out of the vegetation. I'm really starting to like the Trokar hooks. I'm going to have to go and get me some of their flipping hooks and their tube hooks and try with those, see if I have better luck. And let's see. The last thing though, gear. Okay. I really like flipping a lot of soft plastics, a lot of soft craws. The jigs, everything like that. This is turning into quickly one of my favorite setups. This is the Wright & McGill 701 Victory left-handed model. I do have to thank Cameron for giving this to me. I love this reel. It's amazing. I will be buying me some more, hopefully, soon. And this Daiwa Jupiter rod is phenomenal. I like the exposed reel seat. I love everything about this rod. It is super line ready and extremely sensitive, and it's a great price. I think they were $70. If you have the little bit extra to spend, you want a good flipping rod, and you don't want to quite go into the St. Croix rods, I would suggest this. It is running 17-pound Suffolk Elite on there. My other flipping rod, which has my tiny swim bait on it right now, that one, the rod and reel were given to me again by Cameron. Thank you so much. They've been amazing. Again, it's a 7'6" rod. They are amazing for my style of fishing, for when you're flipping and everything else. It will pull fish out of the thickest cover. This one has a 17-pound P-line voltage on it. It's good line. I would recommend it to anybody. And my drop shot rig, which is also good for a lot of soft plastics, just a regular Texas rig, maybe on an 1/8 ounce jig head, or an 1/8 ounce bullet weight, and for working your jigs. Again, I really like this. I'm a big fan of doing the braided line, and after I've been using braid, I probably will switch everything over eventually, except for my flipping rods, to braid. If I start going down to Texas with my brother, I will probably switch to 30, 40, 50-pound braid. But for here, nothing more than the 17-pound. I haven't found a use for anything heavier than that yet. If I missed anything in any of my videos, or you would like to see me go into more detail on certain things, please leave a comment. Let me know what you're curious about, and if you want to meet up with me on the water, I'm in the springs a lot, and I do fish a lot of the local waters. Just, come up, say hi. You know what gear I'm fishing with. I usually walk around with a black backpack. Just stop in, say hi, see what's working, talk to me for a minute. Thanks, guys. Hope this helps.